In this tutorial, we're going to cover how to add and edit exhibitions on your website. So right now we are on the exhibitions page. There's a couple elements to this page. First, we have this featured exhibition slider right here. We have this display of exhibitions on view, and you'll notice that some of them are tagged as a collection gallery, and some of them are a featured exhibition. We also have this future exhibition slider, and this previous exhibition slider that archives everything that's been on view at the museum. So the first thing we're going to go over is how to add an exhibition to the website. So instead of adding a fake exhibition for you, I decided that we would go through one of the most robust exhibition pages on your website, just so you can see an example of a really full and complete page. So we're gonna go through the Modern Masters from Latin America exhibition. You'll see all right here we have the body content of the page. We have a very robust right sidebar here that's listing programs and event in this drink call out. And this page also has an image slider at the bottom of it. So if we hit this edit post button, I already have the tab open. This is what the back end of the exhibition looks like. So to start going through this, first we have the title right here. You'll want to add the full complete exhibition title there. The body content is really up to you. And you'll see that this window right here functions very much like a Word document. You can go ahead and add rich text to this area. You have normal editing controls like bold, italicize, bullet points. You can hyperlink things here. So that's pretty straightforward. If we scroll a little further down on the page, we come to this extended options subsection right here. And this part's really important. You'll see that for Modern Masters, it is listed as a future exhibition because as I am making this video, the exhibition hasn't opened yet. But if you had a present exhibition, you would switch it to this tab, and that would tell the website to display the exhibition here on the on view portion. So it's very important that you make sure you're selecting the proper trigger on this drop down. Similarly, if you put past exhibition, the exhibition, once it closes, you'll switch to past, and it'll auto populate to this slider down here. So if we go back to our exhibition, so yeah, we'll leave it at future for now. You'll want to add the start and end date in these two fields. And then the next option in the extended, or the next tab in the extended options is the sidebar. So most exhibitions on your website will have a where to view. So as exhibitions change, this is where you would add this content. And there is no video for this exhibition, but if you did want to add a video, you could just simply copy and paste the YouTube link to this field and it would auto-populate to the page. Now we have a second extended options bar here. The first thing we'll see on this tab is the masthead images. So these are very important, and this is the masthead image right here. So we see the green underlay, or the photo with the green overlay, and then on the right hand side we see this painting right here. So it's just important to note that the first image is always the one that pulls to the left. The second image will always pull to the right. If you only add one image, it'll default to the right, and it'll have a green empty space on the left, which I'm sure you've noticed from other pages on your website. So just keep that in mind. Then we have another sidebar option, and this is where you can really customize what goes on that sidebar. So here you see another rich text area that you can edit very much like a Word document. Whoever created this added this listing, and then they did this division bar, and then they added this photo with the call out. So just know that you have a couple sidebar options. You have the first one, which even though right now it's under your brand guidelines to list where in the museum this exhibition is, but you can create something very custom in this space. Oops, sorry about that, clicking through. If we keep scrolling down, we'll see the slider module right here. Now we have a couple different sliders. We have the simple slider, which if we had a simple slider on this page, just to give you a feel for what that would look like, it would only be the slider with images and it would not have these captions. But if you do want to add captions, which I assume you do if you're posting images of works of art, you'll want the extended slider option. And you don't really need to add a title unless you want it to be visible on the website. But you'll see here each of the slides that are a part of that slider. So whoever put these in, for the slide title, they put this portion of the credit line, and then the subtitle, which is the smaller text, they kind of divided that credit line in two, so just do what you will with that. But if we were to add an additional slider, we'd scroll all the way to the bottom. We're scrolling through all the images right now. And you'd hit this Add Slide button. You would add the title in this field. Painted by Nora, that's myself. You would select the image, and that would include it into the slide. Now, if you wanted to remove images from this slider, you just hover over this right-hand gray column. You'll hit this little minus button. Yes, we are sure we want to remove it, and it'll be gone. You also have complete control in the order of which these images are displayed. So if you wanted to play with the order a little bit, all you have to do is hover over this gray column on the left-hand side, and you'll see it hovers and says drag to reorder. So just click and drag, and you can have complete control of the arrangement there. Now we've gotten through all of the meat of the page, but there are a few other elements we have to cover. First is this featured image right here. This is the image that populates throughout the website. So this image is different from, oops, I'm sorry. This image right here is not this one. But for example, let's say you are on your home page and you click on the What's Going On button. This is the featured image. So the featured image is basically what the website pulls when it's listing this exhibition through different triggers and modules and sidebars. So it's important that you have something set. If not, when you look at something like the What's Going On tab, this would be a big green blank space. So it's very important to set that, and you also want to keep in mind the way that it crops. I'd say square is usually a safe bet, but if you were to, it just really depends on the image that you upload. So just keep that in mind, that it auto crops and you don't have control. You only have control of the file that you upload. So be sure to crop it beforehand. So that's the featured image right here. And another element that we cannot forget when adding an exhibition is that you want to make sure you publish it correctly. So a pretty neat trick on this website is you can, let me see, well, this page is already published, but let's say you were working on a draft of this page, you can password lock pages on your website. So you could send it to other staff members internally to review before making it live on the website. But anytime you make changes to the exhibition pages or any page on the website, you want to be sure that you come to this publish box right here and you hit update to save all your changes. Alright, well, now that we covered how to add an exhibition, I'm going to show you, yes, we'll leave, close this tab as well. I'm going to show you how to update this featured slider on the exhibitions page. So if you're already logged into your admin dashboard and you just hit edit, it's just taking a bit of time to load right now. Just a little slow. There we go. Okay, so now we're in the back end of the exhibitions page. You'll see that there is no rich text content that's been added. Scroll further down, and here we go. So here we are in the featured slider module. You'll see that the way things are kind of broken down, I'll zoom out just a little bit to show you on my browser. But essentially, each slide has a couple of subsections in it. So this whole gray number 1 bar right here is one slide. And within that, there's a couple modules that you can edit. You'll see the next one is labeled with a number 2. So let me just zoom back in so I can see properly. Oh wow, I caught a little boo-boo. So let's, it's not Modern Japan, let's change it to Brenda Biondo. But essentially, there's a couple components to this. First, you have the slide title, which goes in here. Then you have the slide content, and what I would recommend to keep formatting consistent is when you build a new one, I would just copy and paste this so you don't have to worry about formatting. The next section is the slide image right here. And then we have the buttons area. And I should know that it's good to, before you add a new section, I would go and I would drag this to my desktop and just figure out the size and the specs so you're not uploading a humongous file to the website, because that really slows the loading time. So if you wanted to add a new slide, you would scroll all the way down. You would hit add slide. You would add your title. You would add the rich text content. Oh, actually, we'll do what I told you and we'll copy and paste to keep the formatting. And I would just update it. We'll still have a featured exhibition. Let's do test exhibition. The date is fine, and this is the greatest exhibition of all time. Okay, we go here to select an image, and you can choose something that's already been uploaded to your media library, or you can upload a file from your desktop. We'll choose this beautiful image of Maria Felix. And then you want to add a button to this slider, and you want to add a button because you want to have some sort of call to action when somebody's viewing this on your website. So you'll see that they all have the view exhibition with the little arrow prompting people. So let's add the button. The button will probably want to do something like view exhibition. Let's see what they have up here. Yep. And then we would copy the URL, the back end of the URL. You wouldn't copy the root, and what I mean by that is, if we're looking up here, you wouldn't paste www.sdmart.org. You would only take the directional part of the URL, which comes after the /. So once you build the page, you would copy and paste the URL. We're posting a dummy exhibition, so we don't have that link. And you would click the arrow, you would select the arrow icon. And then you would just have to go up to the page and hit update to save your changes, but we won't do that because we don't want to save this dummy exhibition. And just like other portions of the website or other slider functions, you have complete control by hovering over this gray column and dragging and dropping. And to remove, you can just hover over this minus button, and we'll remove this row. And you'll see that now we're left with only the content we had before. And that is all for exhibitions.